right there. I just might as well just go on with it. I am that I am. So how do you know I am that I am? Because when you needed me, all you had to do was say, I am. Whatever you needed, see, you might have needed a bill paid, didn't have that money. You say, hey, I am. You is what? I am. Okay, I am that I am. You might have been sick laying in the bed and needed a doctor, and you said, I am that I am. Something happened when you call on the name that I am. But you gotta call on the right name. I am. I am. You can't be sick and looking for a lawyer. Well, you can't be broke and looking for a doctor. Y'all. Well, since I am that I am, I gotta touch just a little bit of this. I said, well, Lord, what would you have me to say? He said, tell him this. In a time of trouble, you can go to the rock. I said, well, what do you mean go to the rock? He said, I am the rock. I am. In a time of trouble, I am a rock. I am. He said, matter of fact, read the book. So I had to open the book. He said, well, there's a lot of them in here. Which one you want me to? He said, well, you know, David was a man after my own heart. Oh, yeah. David said, I had to go to the rock. I said, well, what did you do, David? David said, well, I remember one time when I had to go I was actually going to check on my brothers out there in this battle up against this uncircumcised Philistine giant. Wasn't even circumcised. But I had to go to the rock. I said, well, how did you go to the rock? He said, well, I went out there for one thing, but when I got there, the Lord said, do another. See, sometimes when he sends us for one thing, we just be obedient and do what he tells us to in the first place. We might be going to pray, but he said, no, don't pray. I need you just to listen. Sometimes we get in self. Self will want to be the big guy, want to be the big shot, want to be the stand out, want to be the one in the front, when we should be trying to get no glory at all. Well, I said, well, David, what you got to say about it? He said, well, I went to the rock. I said, you did? He said, yeah, I had 5 of them in my pocket. I said, well, why did you have 5? He said, because I had to take the J, the E, the S, the U, and the S. See, I didn't want to leave nothing out, so I had to take the rock with me. Well, I said, did it work? He said, hey, I cut his head off. I said, wow, well, that's pretty good, Dad. That's real good going to the rock. I said, wow. So that's the only thing you can do is go to. He said, no, you can go to the rock if you need to talk to me. Y'all know how sometimes these old westerns and things, they go up in the mountains to talk and everything. And I said, well, they ain't gonna want to hear nothing about no western. I said, the only one want to hear that is apostle. You know, I said, well, I said, well, he said, well, just think, go on, get on back in the word, stay in the word right there. Tell him about when I called Moses up there to talk to him. I said, well, what'd you tell Moses? Moses said, hey, I went up there and he gave me the law. Said, not only did he give it to me, he wrote it with his finger. I said, he wrote it, he said, yeah, he wrote it with his finger. We call it the 10 Commandments. Said, some of you still don't get the one, but it's all right. Work toward getting the other 9 to go with the one. I said, well, Moses, you went to the rock for that? He said, yeah, I went to the rock. He said, Moses, you sure? He said, yeah, because I am that I am was up there. Up there. On the mountain. On the mountain. I said, wow, man, there's a lot of things you can do with a rock. I said, David said you can slang them things. In a time of battle, you can slang them things. And Moses, you telling me I can just go up there and just talk to him? I said, yeah. I said, oh, man. Well, and then I said, well, Elijah said, I got something too. I said, well, what you got, Elijah? He said, in a time of protection. You see, you can go to the rock in a time of protection. I said, well, how do you do that? He said, well, just like them Westerns, you know, they used to hide behind the rock too, didn't they? They used to hide behind the rock.
Yes, sir.
They hide behind the rock. And even if they partner or whoever got shot or got hurt, they would get them behind the rock. See, that's what we don't do. When we see people down, we don't try to get them behind the rock. We just go on and kick them and step on them and everything else. We don't try to go pick them up, get them behind the rock, get them behind the protection. No, we start throwing rocks at them too and everything. We try to be David and just sling rocks at them, but we don't need to do that. I said, Elijah, you went for protection? He said, yeah. He said, y'all, let me tell you, that woman was trying to get me. She said that she got mad because I did what I did, but the Lord told me to. So he told me to. So I called myself trying to be bad, and I was going to run because I was scared. Thinking, protection. When you go to the rock, you don't have nothing to worry about. You don't have no worries. Say that rock is strong. And I said, well, is that all a rock good for? He said, no. He said, think about this. When a man go to build a house and he dig down, he said, when you build that house on a rock, can't nothing move it. He said, the waters can come, can't nothing move it. The winds can blow, can't nothing move it. I said, well, you sure about it? He said, yeah, it's in the Word. It's in the Word. I said, well, I like that it's in the Word. I said, well, what else can you do with the rock? I said, you done said it. You know you can use it in a time of battle. I can come and talk to you in a time of protection. I can even build on the rock. I said, but what else? He said, well, stick with that when you build on it. That the gates of hell can't even prevail against it. I said, well, now that's real good right there. I said, that'll tell him something right good right there. He said, the gates of hell can't even prevail against it. I said, well, what if you, so you won't let it? He said, I can't. I am that I am. And one thing that I can't do is lie.
Oh, watch out.
I said, y'all can tell a lie.
He said, talk.
He said, y'all can tell a lie. Y'all don't tell no lie, do you? Nah, that's all right. Y'all don't answer that. Don't answer that. Just think to yourself. He said, but I can't tell no lie. So I said, the gates of hell cannot prevail. And I said, the winds can come, but they can't move it. The waters can't move it. Man can't move it. I said, well, they try to get these backhoes and things to move these rocks. He said, yeah, but you notice they hit another one when they moved that one. I said, wow. I said, you being real particular tonight. He said, yeah. Tell them they can always go to the rock. Go to the rock. Remember, go to the rock. In a time of trouble, go to the rock. In a time that you need it, go to the rock. When you need a healing, go to the rock. When you need to talk to him, go to the rock. Well, even when you just need to listen, go to the rock. When you need to rest, go to the rock. I said, wow, you can do all that with a rock. Who knew? Who knew? He said, I knew because I am that I am. I am that I am. Now, who you going to say that I am? I say, you are Jesus. The Son. The Son. The Son. The Son of the living God. So I know that if you're the Son of the living God, you got to know what you're talking about. So when I needed him the most, he was right there. He was always by my side. He said, I have never left you. You tried to walk away from me, but I have never left you. I said, what? You didn't leave me? No. You're never too far that I can't come and get you. All you got to do is say, I am that I am. I am that I am. And even if you can't give me that way, you say, I'm the Father. Jesus.